The third and final video about networks will cover some of the challenges related to being in a network form of organizing. So we're going to cover three different challenges here related to a network scope. And the first one is path dependence, that decisions in the past have a tendency to shape current and future decisions. So the notion of path dependence, we'll cover it in other sessions as well, essentially states that today is not a product of a textbook. It is a product of decisions taken in the past. And just like you're out walking in the forest and you start to go in a certain direction on a certain road, if you've walked for quite a long time in that direction and you start to feel lost, you become very inclined to continue on the chosen road because it's going to be so far to go back. And if you're in a network which has evolved over time, gradually you have refined activities and resources where you're increasingly intertwined, you do become very path dependent. Second challenge is interdependence, which means that the outcome is beyond your executive control. And the definition here of interdependence would be any event that depends on more than a single causal agent is an outcome based on interdependent agent. Interdependence exists whenever one actor does not entirely control all of the conditions necessary for the achievement of an action or for obtaining the outcome desired from the action. So, a very obvious and easy example to understand would be traffic. Traffic is interdependent. So, for you to avoid a collision, is a function of your own abilities as a driver, but also the abilities of drivers that are also on the road together with you. So the outcome, your outcome depends on you and it depends on others who are beyond your executive control. And here's a quote illustrating this. In this view, the resources of a company are tied to resources in other firms. Every company is part of a larger collective entity involving relationships to counterparts. In the interaction between two business partners, the resources of the two units are affected, both in terms of how they are used and how they develop. Third challenge related to a network scope, a lack of direction and sometimes a collective action problem. Quote, one special characteristic of a network is its indeterminateness. The network does not have a natural center or clear borders and is dynamic over time. In this view, networks are loosely connected systems of actors and relationships in which no firm can dominate. And from this, you might end up with what you call a collective action problem, defined as the term collective action problem describes the situation in which multiple individuals would all benefit from a certain action, but has an associated cost, making it implausible that any one individual can or will undertake and solve it alone. So if we are to sum up, a network scope gives rise to a different set of challenges as opposed to being in a hierarchy. So one is path dependence, another one is interdependence, and a third one being collective action problems. If you would be completely vertically integrated, you would not have the same collective action problems because you could solve them through executive power.